Hello, and welcome to the first part of WCWWECW, the series where I review and watch every single pay-per-view on the WWE Network in chronological order. Today we start with Starrcade 1983. Now I know very little about early Starrcade, but by looking at the match list, it looks like there are some proper classic bouts here with Ric Flair and Harley Race in the main event. And let me just get the rest of the match card up. Hold on. Here's the lovely low quality that you're expecting from me. Have I got it in this tab? I fucking do. Right. Match card. Match card. Results. Oh, we got who? Kevin Sullivan, I heard of him. Abdullah the Butcher, I've heard of him. Bob Orton Jr., Dick Slater, Wahoo McDaniel. But the main matches here are clearly the three penultimate match, three main events. Probably not three main events because it's not mental WWE going. Oh, this event has 7 main events. Got Roddy Piper, Greg Valentine in a dog collar match. Ricky Steamboat. I heard of him, and that's for the tag belts. And they got Ric Flair and Harley Race in a steel cage. That'll be a good match. Let's next time you hear this lovely voice in about 2 seconds because editing, I'll have watched the first major segment of the pay-per-view. So first of all, pay-per-view just starts with the match. No introduction to the pay-per-view or entrances. It's just, here are the lads, they're going to have a fight. Might be a thing of the time, might just be because it's the first one. And then we get the most bog-standard wrestling match I've probably ever seen. Like, especially for the time, because I think the most impressive move that whole time, there was a back body drop and an atomic drop. And I think there might have even been an arm drag. Fuck's sake. The moves weren't impressive whatsoever. It plodded along. I mean, the ending was kind of okay. It was a roll up, so not the best thing you want for your first ever pay per view, the first ever match on pay per view. But so the people over at Cage Match gave it a 3.44 on average. I think that's about right. I'd give that 3 out of 10 or 1.5 stars because it just happened. It was 8 minutes. It was fine. So after the match, it goes to these two guys. I assume they're the commentators. No clue. They kind of just be like, oh, look, this is really important. This show is important. It is. I mean, I wouldn't promote how good the show is after that match. They say, oh, those dirty The Assassins, those bastards, cheating to win, even though they didn't cheat to win. Yeah. God, this is like really important, but fuck me, it's dull. So after we talked to as I still probably the commentators I don't know, we go Tony Schiavone, a man I've finally heard of. It's only taken me one match and one promo segment to actually have heard of somebody. And in the background we have Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, then some lunatic with a mask and a big beard. He walks past, and then Dick Blood, aka Ricky Steamboat, walks past, which has me thinking. Like, I ain't googling, I don't care, but like, kayfabe guys, Ricky Steamboat is a face. I refuse to believe there's a time period where Ricky's a face and them two are faces, or Ricky's a heel and those two are heels. I can see them two both being heels at the same time, but not with big old Ricky Blood. But then he goes, oh, the show's going to be good. Then he says he's going to do this after every match, which is no thank you. There's 8 matches. That's a lot. Just do not do that, please. Thank you, Tony. Also, you did well. You're doing well in AEW, I think. I don't watch. I don't care. Second match of the evening between Kevin Sullivan, who I've heard of, and that was it. I think I've heard of Johnny Weaver. I don't really know. The match was fine. I mean, it was better than the first one. But, I mean, the match was, it was wrestling. It was a tag match where the heels were heels and they won. But the post-match angle, fucking hell. This was quite graphic. I'm watching it on Discord with my pal, my good friend. And we're both going, fucking hell, that was mental. So what they do is, the match is over. And then the faces go, because the heels cheat to win. The faces go, oh, that's rough. Oh, you bastard. And they attack the manager of the heels. And the manager gets something out of his boot. And I don't know what it is. It could be like a box knife or something. Whatever they do, they cut one of the guys that lost lots. Like, this guy's bleeding all over his body, and I can't show it, obviously, but like the ref's shirt's covered in blood, he's covered in blood. Really fucking crazy angle for 1983. But yeah, the post match helped that match get 5 out of 10 or 2.5 stars from me, compared to cage matches 4.39 out of 10. Probably gonna have to talk to the bloody commentators again, aren't we? Yeah. So the match ended, and we had to talk to, like, the Muppets, those two knobs. They're like them. They just saying, "Oh, what a brutal attack." Yeah, they didn't tell us what the object was. They just keep referring to it as a foreign object. A bin is a foreign object, and so is a fucking rifle. You need to be a bit more concise. And then they go over to a woman and, casualty sexism and misogyny. It's like, oh, pretty woman, she now doesn't speak. Ugh. Yeah, so we go over to, it says her name on screen, I can't remember it. And she just asks the family, where have you come from? And they drove 180 miles to see this. Did they not know it was on pay-per-view? Like, they could have just got it. Because 180 miles for my little English brain is fucking mahoosive. And then anyway, she then says, who do you think is going to win? And they all say Flair. And we're back to Tony Schiavone in the dressing room. Now we get Tony Schiavone and Arn Anderson on the casting couch in 1983. Arn then just cuts the most generic, oh, Rick, I've been studying you, man. I hate this Carolina. I think it's North. I cannot remember. I hate it here. Oh, Rick, I'm going to do you in, mate. And that's the promo. Next match! So I went into this match aware of the idea of Abdullah the Butcher and him being like one of the first hardcore wrestlers. What the fuck? That's so many things wrong. First of all, consistently stabbing someone in the head with a pencil probably fucking sucks. A big stab in the head with a pencil probably sucks even more. I made my lasagna here, got tomato sauce in it. I'm going, ugh, blood everywhere. Second of all, that ref was horseshit. You could see him get the pencil out of his trunks and then twat him in the head with it. That's a disqualification. There's too much blood. Match wasn't even 5 minutes, and there was so much blood I was disgusted. And then, for some fucking reason, there's a ref bump. Who needed that? And then, because the ref clearly not doing much about DQs, and then Cologne's lying there, and they're in the figure 4 with Abdullah, and then some lad comes in, and they said his name, I don't care, just hits him in the head. Like, I assume they'll get paid upon later. What the fuck was that match? So Abdullah won, obviously. Cage match, don't give matches under 5 stars a rating. I give that like maybe 4 out of 10. It wasn't as good as the match before. It was probably better than the first match, because while that match we just watched was grim, the first match was really fucking boring. But yeah, now we're back to Tony Schiavone talking to somebody. So after Abdullah's match, we get a pretty good promo from the guy that was stabbed in one of the two people, not the main guy that was stabbed, the other guy that was stabbed, I assume with a penknife, in the post-match angle of the second tag match. It was a very good promo, saying, "Oh, I'll get you. I'd referee this match if only I won it, because I think he's the ref for the tag title match." I'm not really paying attention. And it just dawned on me that Flair's working face and Harley Race is the heel, because the rest were like, "Oh, Flair's gonna win." Then I can't show it because blood. But it then shoots over, like the camera angle like pans a bit to see the other guy, the one that was stabbed that was wrestling. Jesus Christ. He looks like the dude in, what's it called? Die Hard. With all the blood on his face. But yeah, now we're going back to, I think her name's Barbara, the commentator in the stands, talking to the people. We then get the female commentator, I think she's a commentator, somebody, go talks to a couple of fans. They're from a bit far, and they both want Flair to win. They're really fucking, they're giving away the finish. Like, Flair's going to win, because of course he is. It's Flair. But if you had any doubt in your head before the pay-per-view started, nobody has said Flair's not going to win, except for Harley Race. Mental. Anyway, what's the next match? So the next match was very good. One of the best shots of the night so far is an overhead shot, which I think wrestling companies should use more. As you can see on the screen, and it just shows how grim the mat is. It's caked in Abdullah the Butcher's blood and just other blood, because there was bleeding in the second and third match. No blood in this match, but this was the best match of the night so far. Match, I want to say match 4. Yes, match 4. I give it 6 out of 10. Cage match, give it 5.69. Good fin. Good match. Good little. After the double down, there's a good spot where there's a power driver attempt, a backdrop, and then double hot tag. But then the finish feels a bit weird. So the camera angle changes to a terrible angle. Someone kicks the camera so you hardly see it, and then it looks like they're meant to stop the tag, but they don't, and the ref counts it. So yeah, that gives Randy Orton's dad and Dick Slater the win over the very white Native American characters. Yeah, back to Tony with Flair, I presume. There's a promo backstage, and it's so fucking jarring to see the backstage area, but they're just on your aunt's sofa. Like, obviously it's your aunt's because it's the 80s, but still, like, and also, like, they just sat there putting their wrist tape on. They're like, oh, no, that's the sofa Granddad sits in to have his ready meal and watch Flog It. Also, Flair's in blue trunks, so he's gonna win. Yeah. They've just announced there's gonna be highlights. What the fuck? Tony Schiavone fucking lied. There's no fucking highlight package, but we do get the idea of a Dusty Rhodes promo. We hear maybe 7 words. Most of the words are him struggling with the S sound, because the audio is just not there. And then there's a guy in a red hat who just looks stoned out of his mind behind him. And then we're in the next match. Whoop-de-fucking-do. So the next match coming up is for the NWA TV Championship. It's a Mask vs. title match. And before I get into the match, I just need to say, oh, what a fucking ugly belt. Ah! The next match was, as previously mentioned, for a title, the TV title. And I mean, the match was okay, but Charlie Brown's selling really pissed me off. It was goofy to the point of it felt like parody. And also, the Great Kabuki kept doing dives that were just into a claw. The dive doesn't help that maneuver. Like, punch him in the head, knee him in the head from a jump. Don't jump and then lightly grasp his skull. That's not how wrestling works. Charlie Brown won with, I think, a shoulder tackle and then an elbow drop. And then, yeah. I mean, it was fine in the ring, but oh shit. But like, it was kind of annoying. The people gave it 3.64. I give it 4. Same as the Carlos Colon Abdullah the Butcher match. Both of them could be better if they didn't just like. Well, the first one was good, but like barely any moves happened. It was just, do you want to get stabbed in the head with a pencil and not disqualified? This one there was DQ spots. I think Charlie Brown hit Kabuki with a fucking chair. The city git. Refs are shit in this era of wrestling. But the next 3 matches are the big boys. What, Roddy Piper, Greg Valentine, Steamboat, Jay Youngblood versus the Briscoes. And then you got Harley Race and Ric Flair, who they keep selling every match. Like, fucking hell. Ah! There's now a little bit with the fucking Muppet characters, and they get a man called Bloke McHuman in. I don't know if that's his real name. You can't tell me I'm wrong. They have, at the start, they're a bit like, was that match longer than 15 minutes? No, it was 10. Then they kept saying how good the main event's going to be, and there was it's going to be Rick, it's going to be Rick, it's going to be Rick. Or don't think Hardy could do it, but it's going to be Ric Flair, isn't it? Like, come on. The fucking pay-per-view's, like, subtitle, slogan, whatever, is Flair for Gold. Like, what the hell? And then for, like, 1 second they talked about the dog collar match, which is up next, and the tag title match. But yeah, I wonder who's going to win. It's going to be Rick. There's another backstage promo with, off goes name, Tony Schiavone, Harley Race, Bob Orton, and Dick Slater. They're like, oh Rick, we know you, man. We're gonna hit you with a pile driver, which is fucking mental to think. 99% of the wrestling moves that these people do are shoves or slight body slams or a punch. And the other 1% is, do you want to be paralyzed for the rest of your life? Mental. Anyway, back to see the people of the Greensboro Coliseum with Barbara. Thank fuck. Barbara's not talking to the mindless people of fucking North Carolina in 1983. She's talking to Dusty Rose, who I found out sounds a lot like Wesley Willis, but high-pitched. Wesley just says, not Wesley, fuck. Oh, Jesus. Dusty just says, oh yeah, you know, I'll scrap whoever wins. But I think Arn's going to win. The first person who thinks Arn Anderson's going to beat Ric Flair in the event named after Ric Flair. Lunatic. It was also really weird, that bit where he stared directly down the camera and said, in 2024, Cody Rhodes will win the WWE Championship from Roman Reigns. That was really weird. But yeah, back to the next match, which is a dog collar match, which will be fun. First of all, I would say I fucking loved this match. I've never seen a dog collar match before. Never seen a Roddy Piper match before. Never seen a Greg Valentine match before. But I loved this match. It was great. There was blood. Blood makes wrestling better. You know, it just does. It's grim when they don't clean the ring afterwards. Like, there's another 2 matches to go, and the ring is dirty. Like, ugh. But the wrestling was great. It was just a brawl. It was great. I liked it. I liked it quite a lot. I don't know why the title wasn't on the line, but I don't care to Google it because I don't. Otherwise, I have to Google everything about every match. But I really liked it. It's simple concept. It's we're fucking chained together. Get Tay Folk. Also weird how once they called him Scottish, born in Canada. But I mean, Abdullah the Butcher's born in Canada, and he's the madman of Sedan. Stupid fucking wrestling. Anyway, 2 matches to go, and this is probably going to be the match of the night, unless Flair and Arn come out with something. I'm giving this 8 out of 10 or 4 stars, which is, compared to what is on Cage Match, 4.16, about the same. So, yeah. What's next? Another bit of these 2 melons chit-chatting. I could learn their names. I really could, but I'm not going to, because it's funnier to call them different swears. Now, all they do here is put over how hurt Roddy's ear is, which is stupid. And then they say, let's go see Barbara. So that wasn't Barbara. That was Tony Schiavone, Ric Flair, and Wahoo. Wahoo, I don't care. I pretty much just, I'm going to beat you on. This man here, he's been fucked over tonight. But he knows, and I know, that I'm going to beat you tonight. And then there's a bit that I had to replay a couple of times. So, Broken Arm Man, Wahoo Daniels, whatever his name, he said, take the belt back to Charlotte Flair. And I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Charlotte is not alive in 1983, because that would make her 41, which she isn't. And then I did some Googling. I was correct. Charlotte was born in 86. But at the time, Ric Flair was billed from Charlotte. So that's a little bit of foreshadowing, maybe to an extent. Probably not. Because I don't know what it would foreshadow. But yeah, besides that fun little bit, it's just I'm going to win and you're going to lose. And I'm going to fight for this on. I want you to bring your best because I want to beat you at your best type thing. But, nothing great. Anyway, back to Barbara. Barbara's with someone, I think they said, won the titles with Sergeant Slaughter, a man who pretended to be in the army so much. He would get angry at people when they said he wasn't in the army. So much so, he had actual heat with Lacey Evans saying, oh, you're doing the army gimmick. Oh, you shouldn't be. I'm the army gimmick. Even though Sergeant Slaughter wasn't ever in the army and Lacey Evans was. I mean, Lacey Evans is also a bit of a tool. But, come on, Sergeant. All they say is, oh, man, I think Rick's going to win here in the Coliseum, and I think Ricky Steamboat's going to win the next match. That was it. And now I think we're on to the Ricky Steamboat match. That was a fun little match. Ricky and Mr. Youngblood won, beat the Briscoes. I like their finishing move of the Gorilla Press into a splash. Good match. I can see Ricky Steamboat was clearly the MVP. The best moves of the match was when he picked up someone that had him in some form of arm bar key lock thing. I give it a 6. No, it's better than that. It was a 7. 7 out of 10, 3.5 stars. Slightly worse than the match before, but better than the Bob Orton, Mark Youngblood, Woohoo Daniel match. That is, compared to Cage match, I gave it 6.68. Now they're just running through the credits mid-show, and then I think we'll be pretty much just a couple packages away from Flair Anderson. Arn Anderson. Not Arn Anderson. I've done that so many times throughout this, probably. Harley Race, not Arn Anderson. Harley Race. So yeah, it's just credits for some reason. And then this guy comes and says, oh yeah, 1 match left, Ric Flair, minutes away. Still an hour left of the show. But I've looked. Their match doesn't go 24 minutes. It goes 23:49. So I have no idea how they're going to fill up the rest of it. But I guess they just will. But yeah, I think they're back in the locker rooms in a sec. We're in the back, but we've got a couple of interviews, so we'll go one at a time. We've got Big Charlie Daniels, Charlie Adams, I don't care. Charlie something. He's a drugged up wrestler. This is one from my promo. It's not the like slow, steady, like you're on cocaine, you're Randy Savage level mental. He just comes in, shouts about his family, tries to kiss the bloke, goes, here's the belt. That's funny. He still sold like a bell end. So yeah, his match ain't getting no bump up from that. But yeah, who's next? So next is the not Scottish man, not even trying a Scottish accent. He's just shouting, oh, I've got 2 ears. And next time, Greg, I'll fuck you up and I'll get a belt from it. What a nutter. Next, we got some promos from the new tag champs. Youngblood starts and, he's clearly quite concussed. He stumbles over like 3/4 of the words he says. And it's a bit sad to watch because he dies 2 years later in 1985. And then Ricky Steamboat talks and he's like not a good promo. He's not a great promo. He's a good wrestler though, so it kind of makes up for it. But yeah, it's very fine. We are the champs. We'll fight anyone. We're the best. Woo. What's next? For all of you spoonheads out there worried that I was never going to find out the name of the 2 people speaking, I know one of them's called Gordon and the other one might be called Bob. They just chat now for like 3 or 4 minutes. They basically just regurgitate the interviews we've heard. Then they try and go to Barbara. Barbara's not ready. They just try and put the show over and they say, oh, the Ric Flair match can be so good. Oh, we know it is. It's Flair in the 80s in WCW. Like, it's going to be good. God damn. There's like an hour left of the show. I'm getting a bit bored of these 2 blokes coming in after every match saying next to nothing. It's been like, oh, look at the Flair match. That's coming up. And saying, oh, good Roddy Piper having a scrap. Good Steamboat and Youngblood having a scrap. Or the Ric Flair match could be like, shut up, please. And to you, Barbara. We go to Barbara. Barbara's with Dusty, Big Lisp Rhodes. He talks to 3 girls. They all say Ric Flair's going to win. Dusty says, I'll tell you who I think's going to win. I don't know yet. What's the point? You've already done this promo. And your son has a shit neck tattoo. We go back to Bob and Holly. I don't care. They just say why they talking. People say why we're talking. They're in a cage. Just show us them in the cage, please. God's sake. Also, the restoration here has been terrible in this little clip of them. That's why this picture looks so shit. But that's just what it looks like on the network. Please, I think we're so close to the match starting, guys. We're nearly there. Thank fuck. Like, for the stretch for time, they just did the national anthem, and it wasn't very good. I don't get America's love for their national anthem and flag, probably because I'm British and we feel guilt. Finally, we get to the walkouts of the men in the main event. some unknown reason, I keep calling him Arn Anderson. It's not Arn Anderson. Harley Race gets nothing, and Ric Flair gets one of the coolest entrances I've seen in a while. It is good. It's after the guy sings the national anthem, which is bad, but Arn just kind of like Arn. I keep calling him Arn. Fuck's sake. Harley just kind of walks to the ring, getting booed, and Ric Flair, as you can see in the image, smoke. It's got his song. Arn just strolls down to the crowd. Rick, I may have said Arn again then. Harley Race. I don't know why I keep getting them mixed up. I think it's because they have similar facial hair, and they're both friends with Ric Flair and, WCW boys. But yeah, time for the match to finally bloody begin. So just before I get into the Flair Harley Race match, I just want to point out how grim it is that the match just caked in blood and sweat and then missed for the whole show. It's grim, and it's insane to me that it took WWE and all the wrestling companies so long to just change the mat covers in between loads of blood. Because so the match overall was pretty good. It was a little bit like boring at the start because a lot of it was just they're doing pins on each other and like very much just rolling around in the other people's blood. But once Flair gets a bit of colour, it picks up. Then the finish as well was kind of naff. I can't lie. The diving headbutts just make me feel strange. Probably, I don't know what I'd give that match. Maybe a 6? Yeah, because the finish was a bit So that's 6 out of 10 compared to cage matches 7.06 out of 10. But yeah, I think Flair's got a promo, and then I think I can finally put this video to bed. Yeah, promos, Flair. Flair's promo after said match is just like, yeah, thank you everyone for being here in remote locations and everything. It's the happiest day of my life. Blah blah blah. Babyface winning championship promo 12. I can't lie, I'm sick of these two. I started watching this whole pay per view at like 4:30. It's now 11:15 at night. The show's only 3 hours. I'm sick of these two yapping, saying next to nothing. They said, oh yeah, Flair's happy. Dusty'd be a good match. Fucking Harley Race, all a tough guy. Now we're back in the bloody locker room. We're going to hear some more from Flair because that's just what you need. Hopefully the penultimate part of the show, a little backstage interview with Flair. Then they all celebrate, cover them champagne. Then Dusty comes out to be like, look, man, congratulations, but I'm the one last dream because, American dreams, American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Whoa. Yeah. Good little celebratory promo from Richard. Nothing crazy, no tear in his eye, but a decent little humble promo. Pretty sure this is actually the last time we see Bob and Gordon. They're talking about how important it is that Flair won and how he's now got a title on his back wherever he wrestles, which basically just means wherever the NWO let him. And they're gonna have like, oh, get Barbara to talk to Harley Race. He might not talk, but he might not talk, but he might. He's gonna, isn't he? They do know it's not real, right? Like, it's his job to say something. But hopefully it's nearly done. Only a couple minutes left of the pay-per-view. But what's Barbara got to say? Little mini promo from Harley Race. Mainly him saying, oh, I'm going to do it again. And I'm the only person who's done it 8 times. Just a heel. Kind of generic. But I guess it probably wasn't generic at the time because it was some of the first. But yeah. We're back to bloody Bob and Gordon, and then I think mercilessly we're done with the goddamn promos. Fuck. Gordon and buddy Graham, they just say, oh, new era. Ironic, like I was in a new era now, 40 years later. They say, oh, that's what I thought he'd say, but, Dusty. Please kill me. I'll have to see what Flair's got to say again, for some reason. Final promo from Rick, hopefully, because I'm knackered. It's nearly midnight. Them still being humble, being like, look, man, we're happy to be champions, but we don't know if we'll be champions tomorrow. Everywhere's so good. So weird seeing Flair as a face. Steamboat makes sense, but Flair as a face is just there. That's putting over how good Starrcade is. Starrcade 83 specifically, because it's the first big one. Oh, they even mentioned some of the heels. Oh my god. But now we're back to Bob and Gordon. And please, I beg for the last fucking time. And with one last time, seeing Bob and Gordon, we can trying to put over how important Starrcade is. You can even see in Trinidad and Miami. And then a tiny little highlight package of the last match. This pay-per-view is over. Woohoo. Overall, I thought it was a good pay-per-view, to be honest. I mean, it was the first, so, it's special. Highlights are clearly the dog collar match and Steamboat match, the Steamboat tag match, the main event, and the Bob Orton, Dick Slater, Mark Youngblood, William McDaniel match. Overall, I give this an average rating match wise of 5.375. Compare the average rating of matches according to Cave Match, 5.58. Overall, other stats, the show was 2 hours, 57 minutes, 32 seconds. Off that, wrestling was 1 hour, 38 and 8 seconds, with about 55% of the whole pay-per-view broadcast being wrestling. That's pretty good, I think. Overall, yeah, first WCW pay-per-view, 1983, done. Now, what's next? I hear you cry. Well, for me, as of now, going to render this video and probably go to sleep because it is currently 24 minutes to 12 and I'm very tired. Next made for you is Starrcade 1984. Thank you if you've made it this far, which nobody has, for watching. Hit that like button or don't. I don't care. Honestly, don't like the button. I don't care. Just subscribe. And if you enjoy this, watch the next ones. Or the previous ones. Well, there's only one previous one, the prologue, which don't really matter. But watch the next ones. Anyway, I've been Keith Spoon. Next pay-per-view is Starrcade 984. Thank you for watching.